Okay, so today we're going to find out how to just add
All right,
and subtract
so
fractions. We're going to
we're
start
gonna
with
go
simple
over
ones, no
mixed
mixed and
fractions.
improper fractions. We'll add it to the
Okay,
table
we're
of
gonna
contents
do
here
a
in
baby
second.
step today, and then we're gonna break apart, and I'm gonna have you guys doing different things.
And this should
all
be
right?
just an easy
So-
review from last year, because I know this is something, when we're adding and
You guys
subtracting
practice
quite a
fractions.
lot in 4th grade. You guys have done some basic ones. You've done unit
Okay.
fractions,
So,
1/4 plus 1/4
just to review,
plus 1/4.
is 3/4 and so on. But
This is
now
a
we're
mixed
gonna
fraction,
jump to
right?
fractions that don't have the same denominator. Yesterday we learned how to find the least
This
common
fraction
denominator,
shows that I have,
which is going to
two
enable
wholes
us to
of
add
something.
two fractions together.
and then 3
So-
fourths of something.
If I have 3/5
If I wanted to represent
plus 2/3.
2 and
I'm going to
3/4,
find the
I can
least
draw you a
common
picture.
denominator by looking at the multiples of 3 and 5. Rectangles are usually pretty easy to whip out. 3, 6, 9, 12,
10, they're all the
15.
same size.
I'm going to stop right here because I know 5 and
So I have 2
15 are
and
friends.
then you don't want to list out the multiples from now into
3/4.
eternity. Stop when you see something that works with the other guy. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time listing out multiples that you don't really need. Does everybody
Multiples
agree?
of 5, 5,
Easy
10,
peasy.
15.
Well,
ding, ding, ding.
When we want
I know
to
I can make
convert
these guys
2 and
into
3/4
15ths and
to
add
an
them
improper
together.
fraction.
Why can't I add
What are we
3/5 and
doing when
2/3
we
together
create
right now as they
improper
are?
fractions?
Because
Yeah.
they're not the same size pieces, right? If you and I start throwing money together,
That's really close. So
and
she
I'm
said
throwing in
separating
ones
the
and you're
two,
throwing in fives,
so
we're
it's
gonna split them
greater
all
than the
apart evenly. Is someone
denominator.
going to be unhappy?
You're really close. Any other
We've
ideas
got to
about
use
what
the
we're
same
doing?
size dollars.
You're kind of on
Just
the
like
right track.
fractions.
Almost there.
You can't throw the ones and fives together and split them apart.
Okay. So
You
gonna
guys have
dress
done
these
these
guys
guys
up
up as 15ths so they can play together. They call it the Texas method.
you guys that are
When I
from
do
other
this, we
states
practiced
that
this
just
last
moved
week.
here
We're multiplying 5 times 3 to get
probably haven't
15.
heard it
So
called
up
that
here,
before,
I'm
but
doing 3 times 3
the
to get
teachers in fourth grade call
9.
it the Texas method.
3
Most
times
teachers
5
do.
is 15. So I'm
So
doing
it
times
creates
5
this little TX
which
here
is
with the
10.
plus and the
Now can I add
multiplication,
10
additions,
15ths and 9
multiplication
15ths?
symbol.
So we're doing
Yeah.
4 times 2
Perfect.
first,
So
which is
9 and
8,
10
and 8 plus 3, which is
19.
11.
Do I add
11
the 15s together?
Fourths. Give me a thumbs up if that
No,
was cool.
never, ever, ever, ever. Everyone hold up your pinky and say, pinky promise.
So
I
my
will
question
never
is, ever
What are
add
we
the
doing
denominators together?
when we
Say
do
it with
the
me.
Texas method.
I pinky promise I will never
If you're
ever
ever add
multiplying
these
and
denominators
adding,
together.
because
The
I know we're
denominator
multiplying and
dominates.
adding. What are
You
we
always
really,
stays the
really,
same.
really
You can't change
doing?
them just because you feel like it.
Addison,
Can I leave them 19, 15?
we're getting rid of the whole number. Are we getting rid of it?
Am I taking these two things and throwing them
We
in the
talked about
trash?
this last week, okay? We're gonna
No. Somebody
divide.
else have another idea?
19 divided by 15.
Separating them into
15
what?
will go into 19 one time with how
Good.
many left over? So I'm taking
4.
these
Can I
two whole,
simplify
let's
4
pretend they're Hershey
15?
bars. Everybody loves chocolate. Nope. I'm taking these. So my answer to this
and I'm
problem
splitting
is 1
them
and 4/15.
I don't have
Into
to
fourths.
simplify it.
Did I change the number of candy bars I had?
Using the least
No.
common denominator.
Did I add anything or take anything away?
Okay.
No, I just took
I'm
my
going to show you
knife
one with subtraction, and then we're going to break into our
and I
groups.
cut these. So now I have all the same size pieces. So I'm
if I
going
count
to
these-
do pieces here. How many am I going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7
So
tenths minus
really,
1/5. Taking those
Well, this
two
is
holes
easy
and
if I
splitting
think
them
about
up
the
in least
fourths.
common denominator of
So
5
now
and
I've
10.
taken
Do I
2
have
and
to
3
go very
fourths
far?
and I've
No.
Split the two holes
If
into
you
fourths,
already
so I have
know
all
what the
same
least
size
common
pieces.
denominator
Could I
is,
divvy
please
these
don't
up
fill it
now
with
if I
half
wanted
of
to.
this.
This is only
Yeah,
such
that's
easy.
like
Hard to divide up 11 common denominator evenly, but I don't have the picture. So when you're changing a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, by the time we get done with it.
this is what you're doing.
Right? So
I'm
I need to dress
creating
these guys up into
11.
tenths. Do I have to dress up 7 tenths?
Pieces
No, his costume is fine, just the way he is.
that are
With that
1/4,
Gotta change him. I gotta dress him up into a tenth.
so
Does
he
that
can
make
play with
sense?
the other tenths.
Okay.
5 times 2
So the other
is
thing
10.
that we do
1 times 2 is 2.
quite a lot.
Can
a
I
whole lot,
subtract
and
7 minus
You'll also
2?
do it a whole lot
Yep.
in 6th, 7th, and 8th
7
grade,
minus
because I've been
2
doing it
is
for middle school
5 tenths.
Is
Now,
change
this one we do have to
improper
simplify.
fractions to
Sometimes you still have
Raise
to
your
do
hand
it,
if
but
you
most
had
you don't.
a teacher
5
last year that
half of
taught you
10,
my
so
ice
5
cream trick.
tenths is equal to
A
1
couple of you, good.
half.
Okay, y'all have heard this before. I showed a couple of the teachers last year this, but I want to teach it to you guys that haven't seen it before. So this is actually, I can't take credit for this trick because it's a middle school teacher's trick,
But it works really well for changing your
fractions. So let's say I take 5/8 plus 7/8. Can I add these two fractions together?
Yeah,
Why?
because they both have the same denominator.
They both have the same denominator. The pieces are all the same size. So this means I've got a green light to go and ahead and add these up together. So what would I add together? Somebody else.
7 plus 5.
Yeah. Am I ever going to add the 8 plus 8, guys?
No.
No, 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 no. If you ever try to add that 8 plus 8, I will. We don't do that. That's what my 3rd graders used to do when I taught 3rd grade. We never add the denominators. I always tell kids to remember this. The denominator dominates. He always stays the same. We're not going to change him. Do not change him. He gets to stay just the way he is. Don't change him, okay? So we got this. So we can add the 5 plus 7. You guys all agree? Let's go ahead and do it. 5 plus 7 is 12. Good. So I've got 12/8. This is called an improper fraction. His head is too big. He can't walk around like that. He's going to fall over. We need to balance him back out by creating a mixed number. So the way that I teach kids to do this, and it's super easy once you get the hang of it. If I have 12/8, I'm going to turn it into an ice cream cone. Here's my ice cream cone. Everybody loves ice cream, right? So at your house, where's the ice cream at? In the freezer. So we're going to put the ice cream in the freezer and we're going to shut the door because we don't want Mom to come after us and find us, right? They don't like it when you leave the freezer open. Everything gets all soggy and yucky. It's a big, big mess, okay? So we're going to put the ice cream in the freezer and we're going to shut the door. Do the ice cream cones need to go in the freezer? No, not unless you're my Nana and you've kept the same cones for over 5 years. Be careful of the cookies in the freezer. You don't know when she made them. So we need to see how many times 8 can go into 12. That's easy. Once. We're going to divide like we normally do. 12 minus 8 is 4. Your remainder becomes your numerator and your denominator dominates. He always stays the same. Your remainder is what becomes your numerator in your new mixed fraction. But now I've got another problem, and since we practiced this all week, you should see it. Can I leave 4/8 4/8? No. When do we simplify fractions in 5th grade? All the time. All the time. Not just when the directions say so. So if I look at 1 and 4/8, I can divide 4 by 4 and 8 by 4, and I get 1 and 1/2. Ta-da!